In Fairhaven, where construction of two 400-foot turbines has begun, residents like Donna McKenna are taking matters into their own hands.
The more I've walked around the neighborhood and tried to educate people on the effects of these wind turbines, most of the people are not even aware of it. They're not. They think this is a win. It's going to save energy for the town. It's going to put back money into our pockets. And that's all they think that these wind turbines are for. And I feel like more and more people that I've gone door to door, they are very, very upset, and they are concerned because they have young children, and those children are going to be attending the new wood school, and that's a big thing right now. That's more concerned with the parents and the children in the town of Fairhaven. It's going to be about 2,000 feet away from the new school being built, with 500 students going there. Right. That's a big concern of mine. Some of them came back to me and actually said that this is great. I can't believe all the research that we've done and found out information, and they were more than happy to put signs in their yard, so that way they could educate people they know, because a lot of people are not aware they're even being installed.
Ken Patel was instrumental in the development of the Phoenix Bike Path.
And this is a path that we all love. This is a place we all love, as you can see. People biking behind me. So we need to get these town officials accountable. We need to change the town government to make them accountable. Right here, a few feet from the bike path, they're building a 400-foot turbine, industrial wind turbine. Yes, it's going to really impact the bike path. The bike path, I was very much involved with that. I was the chairman of the Friends Committee, and we drove this project. And we never envisioned having industrial wind turbines with the noise and the flicker that will make this not the same. Is there anyone in Fairhaven, anyone on the planet that would think that it's not going to alter the environment and make it much less enjoyable and maybe not even accessible? Here's the road, here's the site, and here's the path. So you be the judge. Can anyone tell me that with two 400-foot industrial turbines with their blades turning at high speeds, with all of the different noise factors and flicker that gives off, that this is going to be the same, anything close to the same, or any place that you even want to go? This is looked on by all of the towns on the South Coast. There's such a pristine, beautiful place to go. And it's a model project. Well, we may not have that reputation very much longer if this project goes forth. It's just too close.
The turbines will sit just 400 feet from pristine marshlands. Frank Haggerty questions the setbacks and the use of substandard Chinese turbines.
I know that the Green Communities Act provides some type of a formula where the town makes money, investors make the most money. They get the initial money from the renewable energy credits, and it's an incentive for contractors to get up front and jump into this and make as much money as they can. Okay. CCI Energy is the company that's going to be doing this, and they've never installed a wind turbine before. If these turbines go in for an installation, and the wind turbine contractor gets his $2 or $3 million up front, the turbine project starts. Suits happen, or something happens in the meantime. There's nothing to prevent the builder from just walking away from the project, because it'll be just like having a tenant that rented your apartment. They throw the keys and walk away from it. I noticed in the building permit for Fairhaven that they had left out the type of turbine. They were going to install a 1.5 turbine. I noticed that they had left out the type of turbine, and through some of my research I found out that they were going to be buying a Chinese type turbine. And further research shows that if they had purchased a General Electric turbine, which may be 20 or 25% more expensive than the Chinese turbine, that the General Electric company has their own setbacks. In other words, if you buy a turbine from General Electric, you have to have setbacks from places like bike paths, Radio Shacks, overhead wires, and anything around that turbine. Now, the Chinese turbines don't have any requirements at all. All they care about is if they make the sale.
This Chinese company, Sonoble, has no guidelines. You know, put them any way you want, do whatever you want. We'll just give you the turbines.
Now, whether or not they're reliable or not, and whether or not they can service these Chinese turbines, and if they have the people here around Massachusetts that can service this type of turbine is questionable.
After heated town-wide debate and with opposition from neighborhood school opponents, Fairhaven has elected to build a new elementary school just 2,000 feet from the turbine site. The turbine project announcement was made just days after the school vote.
As soon as that new school vote went into effect and said, yes, they're going to rebuild the new school, that construction started.
On Veterans Day, we've come down, walking down here, and see the land starting to be cleared. I guess they didn't think anyone would notice.
I walk the bike path 3 to 4 times a week, and on Veterans Day, I was walking down the bike path. I was taking a run, and I basically heard some noise going on back there. I actually went over there, and they stopped me, and they had bulldozers in there taking down trees, and I asked what's going on, and they said that they were putting up turbines right there.
While everybody was at the cemetery honoring the Veterans Day, the contractor showed up here with a huge equipment and started ripping the place apart.
There was no mailing, no notification.
No notification, nothing in the newspaper.
No, nothing at all. And I thought that was a little disturbing that I'm a town resident and I was not informed.
The politics involved in this project of the industrial wind turbines is should be very disturbing to any citizen who believes in the democratic process.
The Green Communities Act was started by the disgraced, convicted former House of Representative Sal DeMacy.
Under the Green Communities Act, all they have to do is pull a building permit. And they say that's enough notice, which really, if they acted in a way that was the right thing to do in a democratic fashion and with full transparency, there's nothing in the law, the Green Communities Act, that says they are prevented from notifying abutters and having a public hearing. Shame on these town officials for hiding behind that, for not doing the right thing. And everyone should, call them to task for that. We all have to make our officials and leaders accountable.
Initially, what you do this for is for money, financial gain. It looks too good to be true. In most cases, it is too good to be true.
In 2010, when they first installed the Falmouth wind turbine, that Governor Patrick went to the opening ceremonies of that wind turbine, and he told the residents of Massachusetts and the world that if you wanted to see the future, come to Falmouth and you'll see the future. And that was the installation of the Falmouth Wind 1 turbine. That turbine has been shut down as of today. So the future is clear. The poor siting of these wind turbines is the wrong way to go.
I mean, they've got to see what's going on with these things. It's just not working out.
In Denmark, they know they don't even work that well. In England, they're taking them down.
Falmouth it was like, oh, these things are wonderful. They're going to save the town so much money. That's all they looked at.
Our town officials have failed in that, really failed us.
One of the issues that happened in Falmouth was that when all the people started complaining about the installation of the wind turbine over there, they were told by their local representatives that you have to break a few eggs to make an omelet. In other words, they're referring to these people as broken eggs. Now, the same thing is going to happen every place in Massachusetts in the poor siting of a wind turbine.
My doctor said, you have to move.
We had this house built. I put every little thing in it and love it. It's a great house. But it's worth nothing to me at this point.
I found that I can't live with the noise of that turbine. It's either the turbine has to go or I have to go.
The days that we had to leave the house because the turbine was so upsetting is in the hundreds. We've driven all over New England just to stay away from the house.
This year I took 4 trips out to the Midwest to visit my family, driving just so I could be away a couple of weeks and get away from this thing. That sort of refreshes me and I can think clearly again.
After Christmas, I'm very likely going to drive out to Washington State where my son lives, get out of here, try to heal a little bit, and see if there's a little cheap house out there that I can buy.
It's like you have the fight or flight response, you can call it, and I'm going to fight.
There was actually a time when I'm sitting there and this thing beating us up, and I couldn't do anything.
I was in the Marines for 4 years, 19 months in Vietnam, and I think I get some of my staunchness in fighting the town from, like, I'm not backing down.
As a you know, the husband and the father of the family, it's totally useless what I could do, you know, so we just had to leave.
I just feel that if you're persistent enough and you keep knocking on who you need to knock on, it's like you can't lose. I'm here until the turbines are gone.
How many broken eggs are you going to have in Fairhaven?
For more information and extended interviews, visit windwise.org.